Okay.
My name's Nick Mero. I'm from Holly Huckabee's class.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Nick.
Thank you. I just have a few questions.
Okay.
Why did you choose this profession?
I first got interested in this profession. I was an athlete, and then at college, I did track and field. And after I graduated, I coached for a while, and I was a track coach and a strength coach. And so I was really interested in the human body and human performance. And so in a way, I got into not being a professor, but I got into the profession of exercise that way. First of all, in the coaching, and then after a while, I decided I wanted know a little bit more about the workouts I was prescribing for my athletes, and just a little bit more about performance. And so I decided to get my doctorate in exercise physiology. After I got my doctorate, that's how I ended up here being a professor.
Excellent.
All right.
How long have you been working in this field?
As a professor, I've been here at A-State for 13 years, but before that, again, I was in the profession as a coach for approximately 5 years.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to someone pursuing this profession?
The advice I think I would give is that just to remind students that this is a science, and this is the human body is complicated, and we'll never really fully understand it. So the idea of finding the perfect workout or following something somebody else has done is not really going to be very effective. I think we need really smart professionals that understand how the body responds to exercise, so that they can tailor workouts or exercise prescription to specific people, not just kind of something that's worked for somebody else.
What is something you've learned from getting your doctorate degree that's helped you advance in this?
Definitely how to read and understand literature, like the new information that's coming out. That's how we learn new things in exercise and about the body, is through research. And that's one of the skills that you really get good at when you get a doctorate, is learning to read research and understand it. And that's where I think in the field of exercise, I think we have a lot of people that even that come out with a bachelor's degree that kind of fall in the trap of just kind of following someone's advice, as opposed to looking at what is really known, like what has been discovered by research. We don't have enough students and even professionals that probably do that enough. And so that's one thing that I wish we would get a little bit better at as a profession, and that is like following like what the research says about certain types of exercise, or of course in exercise and in dieting, and there's always a fad. There's always somebody kind of inventing some new way of doing something, and unfortunately there are gullible people out there that will follow advice even if it's not very good, but if they think it's going to work for them. So I want students, and again, back to your question, I think that was one of the skills I developed, was just kind of learning how to be not gullible, but just like be as objective as I can, and have kind of some healthy skepticism about new information like that.
What are some resources that have helped you to continue learning after college?
Yeah. I really believe in being involved in professional organizations, and even going back to when I was coaching, I was in the NSCA, the National Strength Conditioning Association. It's one of the main professional organizations for exercise, but specifically, obviously, for strength. And so definitely I'm still involved in the NSCA. I'm also involved in the ACSM, or the American College of Sports Medicine. That's the other kind of main professional organization for the field of exercise. And so that's how I stay up to date. That's how I get news and information, is starting with those professional organizations. I go to conferences and read their journals, and that's how I stay up to date.
What would you say puts certifications and organizations like that above other ones like the NASM and things like that?
Yeah, there are other good ones out there. In my opinion, the ACSM and the NSCA are probably the two leading ones. They have the biggest membership. Their certifications probably require, they carry a lot of weight to them. They probably require the most effort to pass, and also to stay certified. for both of the certification exams, whichever they have different ones for both organizations, but you have to get CEUs, continuing education units, and the certifications that have those CEUs are the ones that carry the most weight, the ones that really are doing their job, and that is keeping people up to date in the profession. And again, there are other good organizations out there, and there are good certifications for other, kind of niche types of exercise. I mean, if someone wants to teach spin or do yoga, I mean, there are certifications for those things as well. But as far as like a general certification for exercise or organization for exercise, those are probably the two leading ones, ACSM and NSCA.
What do you think the future outlook for careers in the health-related field will be?
It's excellent. I mean, there are lots of opportunities for students who are willing to do the things as undergraduates, and that is, take the hard classes and make good grades and again, understand the human body. There's lots of opportunities out there. Sometimes it requires maybe moving to a different town or a different city, but I mean, there's definitely a demand in lots of different settings for people who really understand exercise.
What would you say is different now about HIPOS-related careers from when you began working in the field?
Well, the biggest thing that I think is changing, and we're actually in the midst of that right now, is just the technology that's available that you can use with exercise. Just the wearable technology, Fitbit and things like that are going to monitor exercise. I mean, to be able to monitor, I mean, that used to be like you'd have to have a really expensive piece of equipment, and it was highly technical. And now for really not that much money, you can wear something on your wrist, and you can monitor your exercise, your activity, how many calories you burned, even though it's an estimation, it's not perfect, but it still gives you a pretty good idea of your activity level. And so using those is like sort of a motivation factor. You can do your traditional exercise on a jogging or walking or on a treadmill or in the weight room, but having that feedback is kind of an interesting thing that's happening in exercise. Even as we speak, new things are being invented, so it's kind of exciting.
And that's all I have for you.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Anytime. Good luck with that assignment.